So as I said, my name is Steven Kagesha. I'm a security analyst at Yale Bridges, mostly in the red team department. On the side, I do a lot of cybersecurity research where I get to document my findings, my thought processes through my blog. I'll share my link after this. And I'm also interested in digital forensics and a bit of incident response. Yeah. Aside that, I'm a CTF player. I play with the Seekers team as my main team. Uh, from time to time, I get to play with Kinako Met, with Fricks. There are also at times I also get to play with Fricks Mini, which is my former team. Uh, the other thing I love about forensics, it's kind of my stronghold. It's one of the categories. When I started playing CTFs, I kind of loved it, and I basically kind of involved myself in memory forensics, disk analysis, registry forensics, network packet analysis. There's also browser forensics. I forgot to add it as well. Android forensics is, or rather mobile forensics is something I'm slowly learning. So over time, maybe I'll be able to create challenges in the near future, which are kind of related. Don't think up to there, if there's anybody with a question, but I'm not sharing my screen. Shoot. Question. Oh, sorry, I was not recording the session and presenting as well. So let me just start again. Share screen two. You can see my screen, right?
Yes, bro.
Awesome. Sorry, I didn't know I was not sharing my screen. A little bit about my bio. I believe I've talked about it. If you want to reach me beyond this session, you can always reach me out on Twitter at osti_ke, or you can as well reach me on Discord. I'm always available. There's busy. So from here, I think we can begin with the first challenge, which was Find Me. Find Me was pretty interesting. From my statistics, I think most people managed to solve the challenge. I think the top 10 managed to solve the challenge, which means it was pretty easy. Maybe before I start presenting up around the same, this challenge was, let me just go back to CTF. This one. If I look at the stats, I'm seeing most people managed to solve it, so it was relatively easy. Basically, what the challenge was asking is a friend recently sent me an image and playfully challenged me to locate him. Okay? Despite all my attempts, I couldn't meet his challenge. Now it's your turn to step into the misery. I believe in your exceptional OSINT abilities. Your mission, should you decide to take it up, involves two tasks. It involves analyze the image, and unearth the concealed details to help me find my friend. So all you're required to do is identify the specific phone my friend used to capture the image. And the other uh, thing you're required to find basically is the exact building from which the photo was taken from. So this was relatively easy. This, maybe if I can share the specific image that was shared. This is the image that I shared with all of you guys to analyze. I will get to it in a minute. So let me just proceed with my presentation. Um, so finally, you're given an image, and then so let's go to the next slide. So let me pose a question to the audience and ask if someone asked you where was this image, or rather, where is this image, and maybe locate the specific city where this image was taken from. So can anybody maybe get to answer me the question and maybe kind of help me understand how you got to the conclusion that it was actually the city you're talking about? So I'm seeing.
Yes.
You can just unmute and say.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh-huh. Go ahead.
yeah. And I think there are various ways of doing that. We can do it graphically. For example, if we are using Windows, we can right click, see the property in properties. In properties, you can see we can there's a way of seeing it using the properties of the picture, because the in metadata of the picture there's in every smartphones today they tag a picture with a GPS. So if we look at the properties of the picture, we will see the longitude, latitude, uh, even the attitude of the picture. And based on that, we can use Google. Maybe, yeah, we can use Google and we'll get the exact location of that.
Okay, awesome. Nice answer. Anybody else wants to try? You can just unmute and say
Go.
hello.
Yeah, Oste, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Well, to start with, whenever you're given such a picture, how I would go about it is, I'd always look at the picture and try and see, is there a landmark? Is there something that is commonly associated with that particular place? And from this picture, I think we can see the KICC building. And for anyone who's been in and around Kenya can know that KICC is in Nairobi. I think that's one of the major factors when given an image, to look for any landmarks within that image that are well recognized.
Okay, nice try.
Thank
Is there anybody else who wants to add on top of that?
Sure, sure.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
I believe you can do an image search through Google.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome.
I think there are many search engines that you can just pick that image and paste it, and then you're going to, if it's sort of known by the search engine, then you're going to find the location, like the city.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. So let me take you a little bit back to my photo, and for maybe those who are able to solve the challenge, let me also get to understand how you also uh, try to figure out which building this image was captured from. I don't know if I should zoom into it more. Let me just, yeah. Someone just unmute and talk.
Well, I was able to solve that challenge, and my sort of like what I checked first was you see this, is it a billboard written Mata? Mata Maisa something, that hospital.
Okay.
Yeah, so you pick that and then try to identify where it might be, like where that hospital might be. So you're trying to narrow down. And then we also see there's a sort of like a parking, and then there's a quick mart over there.
Okay.
So you try and find like the front side of that and try and see from a different angle, like when you are at the parking, whether you're going to see the other side, like from where the image has been taken, and then you can be able probably to see the buildings on from a different angle, because we can see that we are taking the image and then we can see the parking in front of us. So what if we are at the parking? Can we see what is behind? So I think that's how I solved the challenge.
Awesome. Uh, Anybody else wants to try before I proceed? Cool. So I like all your answers, and all of them seem to be pointing to one thing: visual cues, which is a very important aspect when it comes to OSINT and OSINT investigations, for that matter. And what are visual cues? Visual cues basically refer to the visual information that you can actually see with your own two eyes, yeah, and it can be easily utilized to gather data or insights about a target or a specific area, yeah. So OSINT, it involves collecting information from publicly available sources, like you mentioned, and also some visual cues. For example, in this case, I put 3 specific images that I thought will be a good starting point for you to kind of determine whereby this image is taken from. The first image you can see there's like I'm not quite sure who spoke, but he talked about the Mater Hospital, and that is one kind one let me say like a property I get to look for when I'm looking at an image. I want to see, are there any billboards that I can kind of relate to. In this case, I'm seeing kind of like a Mater Hospital banner, which is located in Thika. Yeah, near it I can be able to see as well. There's a quick mat, and then there's a sort of highway or road. Yeah. Another notable piece of item maybe in that image was let me just go back to the image, was this blue building. Yeah, and a neighboring hospital. Yeah. So in this case, if you try to look for where Mater Hospital is in Thika, and also QuickMart, and also correlate it with maybe any other nearby, any other by hospitals in the area, it will have been easy for you to determine the location. Then on the third image, I put this specific image because there seems to be a road that's going one direction. There's another one going to the parking lot, and there's another one that seems to be going to the, should I call it right, and another one left. And then the type of cars that you're seeing in the area are tuk-tuk. So this would have been really easy for you to kind of guess the location where the image is taken from. Now I think we can try some demo and see whether it was really that easy to get it. Is it yeah. So like I mentioned, one thing you would have done is maybe Google something as simple as quick map picker. And maybe even without going to Google Maps, I can just look at the photos that I can see here, and I can see, okay, I can see some red writings in the photo. I can also see some cars parked in a parking lot. Kind of resembles our original image. So clicking into it, well, gives you a lot of stuff supermarket related. And then you can see there's an image that seems to have like a 360 kind of view. In this case, it's sorry. In this case, it's this image. And if we try rotate a little bit, we can be able to see, okay, this is an old photo. This is an old photo. Let me see. Just Google Fika. From here, you can be able to see some images of QuickMart. So you take the 360 degree approach. Now you can see that at least the modern imagery that was captured, I think, recently in 2021. From here, if you just rotate a little bit, you can be able to see clearly the building that the image was taken from. It's T Plaza. That gives you the answer to the second flag, really. You just rotate and just confirm if you can see the blue building. You can actually see it's there. Yeah. So solving that challenge was as easy as that. Maybe you can just go back to the first question, which is identifying the font type. Yeah? Then the flag format as well would have guided you. So maybe I can just hop into my Kali. And the first thing I'm going to do to the image is something as simple as an EXIF tool. Sorry. EXIF tool on, yeah. From the image, we're also able to extract a couple of metadata. In this case, when I was preparing this photo, I chose to omit some of the metadata because it will be so obvious for you guys to determine the location. For example, in this case, the original image, if the original image had the longitudes and latitudes, it would have been easy as just going to Google Maps and just mapping the coordinates, and then you have the flag right away. Yeah? So in this case, I have a couple of interesting and different metadata. Maybe one hint would have been Samsung, but that's the make of the phone to the Samsung device. Don't know if my terminal output is visible enough or I should zoom in.
It's good enough, bro.
Awesome. So yeah, so from the metadata, you can tell that this guy is using a Samsung. then we can also get the camera model. In some CTFs, I've come across this whereby someone asks you what camera model was used to capture this image. So that's kind of something you can, or maybe put into consideration. You can be able to see the metadata that was used to capture the image, the aperture, the shutter time, the likes. But in this case, in order to get the correct and the specific model number that was needed, we can go after this property called software and get the software property. Can I call it software ID, software property? And do a simple Google search, maybe something like that, and see whether we can get some hits. And right away, we can see that the phone was a Samsung Galaxy A3. If you keep scrolling, you keep getting the same hits. It's a Galaxy A3. I don't know. Some people was saying they were getting different uh, model mix. I don't know. Maybe you can share your thought process, but this was more accurate. So I don't know if anybody has a question up to that point. Before I proceed.
Hello, excuse me, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I have a question.
Sure.
How did you use the exit tool? Like, I saw you typing exit tool, but I couldn't see clearly what you typed next. Can you review on that?
Okay. So exif tool is a simple command line tool that you can easily install in your Linux distro. In some OSs, it comes pre-installed by default. In some cases, you might need to install it as simple as, I think, don't know if nowadays you just do a pip install exif tool or you just do an apt install. But basically, the command I simply ran was exif tool, the name of the command, and then the file name that we want to look at the metadata. Yeah, it's a pretty awesome tool to kind of get some quick metadata about something. Doesn't only work in images, can also work in pretty much anything, documents as well. I think in the next challenge we'll also get to use it again, and you'll kind of see the kind of metadata we get each time we scan a different file. If I may say it that way. Did I answer a question?
Stay.
Yes. Hi, Q5.
Hi. Okay. I wanted.
Okay.
How did you extract other than? How are you able to get the image? Because it was in Hake file, right?
Yeah.
It really ilinisumbua. Hey?
Okay. Now I get what you're trying to say. So how did I omit that? Okay, I think there's a way you can get to do that in a command line. I think you can use, or maybe redact it. Is it exif tool as well? Let me just check. But the method I used, okay, in Samsung, when you're taking a photo, there's that option where you get to toggle. Do you want to take your photo with location metadata on or off? Yeah. So that's the kind of precaution I took first. I took a photo with metadata on, yes, and another photo without the location metadata, and then compare the two. And I saw if I gave guys with the image with the location, it would have been so easy to solve it. So I'd rather go with this other approach. But I think Exif tool can also do the same job. Let me just see. Tool H. No, this will help. Help. Exif tool help. Oh shit. So you need to give it just okay. How can I see the no one and you can read and write metadata information. So yeah, let's see. But I think this can do so. Exif tool, an option, then a tag, for example. Let's try something. Exif tool. Let's give it what? A file. Let's give it a tag. Oh, Speed test. Does this work? Tag is not defined. Interesting. These options, let me see. Options, optionals, tag. That's new value for tag. So tag plus tag plus is equals to text. And does this work? Oh shit. Does anyone know how to go about this?
Oste, I think the tag they're referring to are those qualities, are those values that we see in the metadata, the various ones from model, camera name, and all that.
Okay. Let's see.
I think we can try that.
This is sec. This is sec. This is sec. Meanwhile, as I work on that, does anyone have a question up to that point?
There's a question in the chat.
Okay, I'll just go through it as I troubleshoot that. Let me do a little bit of GPT Google Foo. Yeah, exif tool, tag. Oh, let's try that. Exif tool. So let's say test is equals to host. Let's say file name. Let's just give it take. This test is not defined. What? I just followed. Okay. Exif tool. Let's say file name. Let's see, can we modify megapixel to test megapixel, change it to 8.2. 8.2. What? Oh, megapixels. Sorry, megapixels. It's not writable. Okay. Oh. Can someone correct me? I think I'm lost. Yeah.
Okay. Just try exif tool minus megapixel. We see it should omit megapixels, if I'm right.
Okay.
Oste, I also think like the question she asked
Yeah.
was about the extension.
The take
It's
extension.
and alikuwa anasema how are you able to view it, because by default you can't view the image directly using an image viewer.
Oh, sorry if I misunderstood you. The Hake, okay. I think nowadays most fonts come, or maybe if you take high resolution photos, you tend to capture them in a file format called .hake. I think guys with Samsung and the likes can attest to that. Simply Hake is high efficiency image format. It's like a new format that's coming up. Pretty interesting stuff. Let me see. Can I get its file signature? Do we have like a .hake? Hake, yeah. Hake, so, oops. Hake. So Hake is a high efficiency image container or high efficiency image format. Yeah, so it's Magic Bytes kind of start this way, kind of different to how a PNG looks like. But you'd ideally, if you're using a Windows device, you can simply download this tool from your Microsoft Store. It's called Hake Image Viewer. Yeah. Did I answer your question? Madam?
Actually, even the usual Windows image viewer can view that image.
I tried at first, but it was kind of difficult. It kind of directed me to go to Microsoft, so I don't know if your version just opens it by default.
Maybe. I think we'll check that off the call and we see.
Cool.
It was also not working in mine by default.
All right. Wait, what?
The Hake format, when I tried to open it by default on my Windows, it was not opening.
So you had to install the Hake view, right?
No, I had to convert it to JPEG.
To JPEG.
Yeah.
Interestingly, did modifying that or maybe converting to JPEG, did that change some metadata? I'm curious. You can look into that after the session.
Okay.
Okay.
As well as the adding metadata thing. You can also try it as well. Because of interest of time. So that was simply that. I think I can go to my next challenge, which is Hunter. Hunter was pretty interesting. I think kind of challenged most guys, but I kind of know.
Step before you proceed.
Yeah.
There's someone who asked a question about the actual flag format. They said Samsung Galaxy A33 was incorrect. I think you can specify how it was case sensitive or something.
So okay, the platform you're using, what's it called? CTF room. So the flag format I put was a capital. Probably I should have specified it in the hint section, but I don't know if behind the scenes there's some type of regex that just accepts either what's it called? Case sensitive flags, and I don't know if Jones is here to answer that question, because I kind of thought the platform takes both case and in case sensitive. So I think it's just an issue of case sensitive. But let me see if some guys manage to. I think it's probably her flag format was wrong, because if we have over 10 people who got it all, I think there was maybe a problem with the flag format she was using or he was using. Yeah. But either way, I think small or big or mixed would have still worked.
Yes, so I think the problem was the underscores between words.
Okay.
Yeah, because those underscore, the flag format is there, is already there. That's the flag format. But the underscores, if one forgets to put those ones,
oh yeah,
the flag is correct.
Sure.
Also, I think if you just Google for Samsung, well, it just brings the S with a capital, the G with a capital, and the A with a capital. So you can just put it the way it is with the underscores.
Yep.
Yeah, just like how the first one looks like, that one.
Is that clear? Is that clear? Can proceed.
Yes, it's clear.
Okay, cool. Let me see the next.
But yes, I was a bit curious about the flag you got for the location. That one, the location.
Let me see. What is it? This location?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me just go through it again, though I had already spoken about it quite earlier. So looking at this image, we have some few things that can quickly or easily tell you where the image is captured from. And one of the visual cues we've talked about is things like landmarks, banners, roads, billboards, and the likes, right? So the easiest way you could have known, first of all, where this image was taken from is Thika. Simply looking at the hospital banner, you can see that Mata is located in Thika, and another easy where you could have known the location is looking at the quick mat, should I say pillars or banners? Yes, and the parking lot outside. And something as simple as doing maybe where is quick mat located in Thika, or maybe where is Mata Hospital located in Thika. So in our case, we just searched, we did a quick search on quick mat Chanya Kenyatta, and the first image you see is kind of the pillar we saw earlier. So if I just wanted to see, like, is there like a 360 view of the same? All I needed to do was maybe point on the destination, which is QuickMart, kind of have a quick overview or a 360-degree view of the same. From the same, I can be able to see the Mata Hospital banner. I can be able to see the pillar that we saw earlier in the image. And if I rotate further, I can be able to see from this direction. Maybe you can just confirm if you can see the blue building. If we just look across, we can see the blue building we saw earlier in the photo. So we can come to a conclusion that this photo was simply taken from T Plaza. Is it clear?
Yeah, clear.
Awesome. So I can move on. The next challenge is Hunter. Hunter was pretty interesting. So Hunter, just give me a sec. Let me have some water. Hunter was an interesting challenge, whereby all one was needed to do was, or rather, the skill that was tested here is, can you be able to use open source tools to kind of pinpoint someone's activities or the location and stuff like that? Yeah. In this case, let's just go to the challenge description, which was our SOC detected a series of DDoS attacks against our infrastructure. The threat intelligence team has been on the trail and managed to secure the BSSID, the Wi-Fi network the attacker has been operating from. In that case, you're given the BSSID, and your mission, if you choose to accept it, is to use your expertise to extract the location of the attacker and uncover the Wi-Fi network name. This task is critical to the security of infrastructure and what have you. So looking at the scoring, you can be able to see that someone managed to, like a day ago actually, someone managed to score all the 3 flags. Another person was able to, like a couple of them were able to solve 2 flags. I think there was one which was challenge, and we'll get to go through the same. I think when the challenge was starting, I got a lot of complaints. What do I use? I'm getting inconsistent coordinates and stuff like that. So I added a small challenge, or maybe a small what's it called, hint that can maybe give you an idea of maybe the tool or the platform to use. And kind of giving you like a background on why I chose this challenge is some time back, I think around 2020, when we were all bored and staying at home. Decided to try something cool. I had come across on YouTube some technique called word driving. So basically, this is where a user or any person of interest can drive around or maybe cycle around a place with something as basic as a mobile phone, and kind of try to detect and map wireless networks, Bluetooth devices, and stuff like that. Yeah. So in that case, there's a mobile application I used to use that was called Week1 were driving. I don't know if there's anybody here on call who knows about this tool. Is there anybody? Is there anybody? Okay, so what it kind of does is once you install it, you basically create an account, you log in, and then you have to turn on your Bluetooth, you have to turn on your Wi-Fi, you have to turn on your data, and you have to turn on your GPS as well. And all you have to do is simply walk or cycle or drive around a large area, just collecting stuff. You're not interacting with any Wi-Fi networks. You're not interfering with anybody's home network. All you're just doing is driving around, gathering, as you can see in the screenshot shared. So basically, this is how stuff looks like. Let me just skip that for now. And at the end of the day, let's say you're done collecting your stuff, kind of maps the whole area where you maybe walked around, cycle, or driven around, and then you can be able to see, oh, this area had plus 100 unique or new Wi-Fi networks that are not in our database. Yeah. So basically, Wiggle is, I can say, it's like a platform for hobbyists who are into like network research and stuff like that, really. So yeah, after looking at the map and you maybe want to save this data for your own research or some stuff later, you can simply upload it to the Wiggle database, as you can see in the screenshot. Then what else? Yeah, it's got a couple of settings which I want to get into right now, maybe in a different session because of the interest of time. Then yeah, that's pretty much the tool I used some time back to collect this kind of information. So when I was creating this challenge, I played a CTF recently that and also a room on TryHack Me, I think it's called OSINT, that required you to kind of, you're given a DSS ID and you're like, can you be able to find where this person is, or maybe can you get their home network name? I was like, okay, cool. I'll try that as a challenge and maybe see how many people are kind of familiar with this kind of techniques when it comes to CTF. So this is one of the, I think sometimes it falls under MISC, sometimes under OSINT, but yeah. So once you upload your data to the Wiggle platform, all you need to do, like I said, is just simply log in. Let me just see if you can log in. Shit. So once you log in, you are able to track all your stuff that you've been doing. If I had a database that I've already captured, let's say for today, and I want to upload it, simply upload the file. Yeah. So if I want to access also some stuff that I uploaded some time back, just simply go and download the database or explore it using the Wiggle maps. It's pretty much like Google Maps, but a bit more sophisticated in a way. So yeah, so this is how the whole page looks like. I don't know if I can take any questions if there are so far. Questions? Cool. So let's go back and copy the DSS ID. So Wiggle has different ways you can get to query it. One is the basic one, I think. Let me just go back to index. I feel like most people came just directly here and did a simple search on that DSS ID, did a little bit of filtering, and boom, they got some coordinates which they kind of tried and probably they didn't seem to work. But Wiggle has some powerful search, should I say, queries or options that you can use to further query anything pretty much you like about a wireless device, Bluetooth device, or a cellular device. So let's start with a simple basic search. In this case, we are dealing with Wi-Fi, so we won't concentrate really much on the cell or BT. Though I've seen some challenges that ask you about cell information, cell-related information. Pretty interesting stuff. Maybe I can try it in the new week or the next week. We'll see about that. Anyway, Wi-Fi. So what I gotta do is search for the DSS ID and query. Now there's some stuff or some useful information I'd like you to see from this section when it was last updated. I mentioned I uploaded it some time back, right? So let me see. Still loading. It's still loading. Oh yeah. From this area, we can see a little tiny dot, a purple dot. You can zoom into it more. The more you zoom into it, the more you get different kind of coordinates, right? This goes on and on and on until you get the most accurate coordinates. I'll get to that anyway. But before I get to that, maybe I can show you another technique that I saw in a different CTF, whereby someone asks you, like the way I asked about the latitude and the longitude and then the Wi-Fi name. Someone can go an extra mile and just tell you, okay, if you look at the target's location, what's the number plate of the car that you can identify? So in this case, I'll pick the pegman, kind of drop him near the location and take a visual view of the area. So in this case, if I asked you about a car or maybe a green car that was parked, can you identify the whatever? All you need to do is simply come, drop the pegman, then you can be able to study the area. So take note of that when you come across such a challenge. Yeah, I mentioned there are different ways to query the database. The other one is an advanced search. Earlier on, I mentioned that there's something unique here, last updated. So this is basically when I last updated the database. And if I can simply just copy this and use it further in the refined search, as you can see here, we tend to get a hit. Okay. In this case, we can be able to see, okay, there was this results that was first in 2021, this and this and this. If someone had a comment, or if I also wanted to have fun while creating the challenge, I would have added a comment to the same. Or maybe let's say like I wanted to add a comment, let's say flag is HS, let's say whatever flag really. Then add a comment, then ask you to get the flag from the location. Yeah, that's something else I've seen in CTFs. So in this case, if I drill down to the maps, I don't want to spell the location I've gotten earlier. Sorry. My. Close. Want some interactivity, cool. If you go deeper into the map, you can also be able to see some stuff. Like in this case, you can see Telecom Kenya, but what kind of was it like a mobile hotspot? Probably. What about this? Seems like another wireless network. But the one that we're interested in is the CMT. I don't know if I can zoom in. Yes. CMT MEA2, that was one flag. The other one was the coordinates that you could simply get them from this end. It was basically as simple as that. I don't know if it was too challenging for you, but there's a room on TryHackMe called OSINT. Let me just see if I can get it. If you're interested, you can go play it and test some of the stuff that you kind of learned this walkthrough. Let me just paste the link in chat. Yep, check it out. You can also read, I think, past CTF write-ups. If you just do a past CTF write-ups for BSSIDs and Wi-Fi OSINT, you'll get to see a few challenges. Maybe download the challenges and try them. And yeah, awesome. John Collins shared something as well. So cool. Don't know if there's anybody who has a question before I proceed. I think my time is almost coming to a close. Any question? Any questions? Cool. Now the other challenge I created was a Maldoc challenge. This was more like a little bit, or rather a fusion of a little bit of OSINT, crowdsourced threat intelligence, and should I say a little bit of forensic or malware analysis? Yeah, so something of the sort. Let's look into it. So the scenario, you've intercepted a malicious document that's been circling in the world. This is actually a document that I came across in the world recently. I think in the challenge description, I'd said you proceed with caution because it's got some live malware. So yeah, your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to dissect the document and unearth the crucial information hidden within, unravel the details, and help secure the cyber frontiers. So the objectives was basically to determine when the document was last modified. I know this was a tricky question for many. The second question was to identify the MD5 sum of the embedded file within the document, and then also try and associate the CV with the malicious embedded file. And also, while at it, simply use crowdsourced intelligence to identify a specific malicious URL which is embedded within the obfuscated script. I don't know how many went beyond that point, but we'll get to that. Do we have it here? Yes. I'll get to this challenge. So we can just confirm we have our file. If I get such a challenge or a malware or a maldoc related challenge, I kind of get so happy. I don't know. I just get so happy analyzing malicious documents. The first thing you get to do is just confirm what kind of file it is. Of course, it says it's an XLSX, as an Excel file. Just confirm. It's actually a Microsoft Excel 27 plus kind of file. Can I check the metadata? Yes. This is where we use exif again. Exif tool. Cool. From the same, we can try and see if there's some interesting stuff. From here, we can be able to see that the document has 3 sheets. Yes, it has 3 sheets. Anything else you can gather from this? Modification dates. This was pretty much the flag. This was pretty much the flag. Then if you might get some questions asking you who last modified the document. In this case, you can see it's a user called HP. Is there anything else that I consider important here? Nothing really. So because of time, I don't want to spend much time going through PDF analysis and maldoc kind of challenges. I've written a couple of blogs. I think some have not yet published, but you can kind of look into these 2 blogs that I've written that are kind of like a deep dive into maldoc analysis. I get to use different tools, both automated, manual, and the likes. So if you get some time, get to look into the walkthroughs and you can get to learn a thing or two. I'll probably share the link here in the chat. Someone says just like that. Just like that, how? The flag, yes, it was as simple as that. Week 1 was honestly meant to be having very simple challenges as compared to now week 2. You should brace for week 2. Anyway, back to my Kali. Like I mentioned, this is a malicious document, still live. We don't want to jiramba. So the best bet will be to use a sandbox environment like your Kali VM. If you have a malware lab like Remnax, Flare VM, you can get to kind of detonate it there. Analyze a couple of things, network connections, processes spawned, files dropped, downloaded, files exfiltrated, and stuff like that. Also kind of get to capture malicious traffic and understand what was happening, what was being stolen, stuff like that. Anyway, for the scope of this challenge, I'll go the easy route because this was pretty much meant for beginners. There's some tools that I like using, one of them being IRIS-H, digital forensics. Here you get to analyze different kinds of files, PDFs, RTF formats, LNK files, zip, provided the file is has a password, is encrypted with a password of infected. It will just automatically unzip and do the analysis. So without wasting time, I just won't expose a lot of stuff here. But just use the file malloc. Just give it a few seconds, and then it will be. We'll have a report. In this case, we can be able to see the whole structure of the document. I don't know if it's visible or I should zoom in more.
Zoom in a little bit more.
Okay. Let me start. Okay, I think I'll just start here. If you guys can see from this first section, I like to look at the file structure of the document. Like we saw in EXIF tool, we saw that the file has 3 sheets, and you can actually confirm that the sheets are 3. You can also see anything interesting really. You can see some embeddings. Now this is something I have to look or maybe pay more attention to. Embeddings. You can see an embedded file with some weird name. This is kind of something we can look into. Some simple metadata on the right side. Then you can see, okay, this platform flags it as a low. I don't know, for some reason. We'll get to see about that. If you're interested about the hex kind of shenanigans, you can have a look or poke around this section here. Are there any high-risk findings? No. Medium? Not really. Metadata? Yes. Pretty much the same thing we got with the EXIF tool. We got the author, last modified by author, and we also got to get the same flag that we got earlier, which is this here. Right? Cool. So moving forward, if you want to dive into the sheets, you can really do that. But in this case, I just want to focus on the embedded content. So if you are lazy or you are maybe in a speedy kind of CTF that you really need to get flags fast, and you have like a maldoc kind of challenge, please use this platform. I can share the link on the chat because from here, I think we get the next flag, which is the MD5 of the embedded file. It is as simple as getting the MD5 from there. So let me just share link to the site first before I forget. Yeah, the platform is called Iris. You can add it to your bookmarks. Yeah, we go to MD5. If you wanted to actually download the file itself, I think you can still do the same. Shit. Can you try and browse this? Contains no data, no data, no data. So if you, I'm guessing if you accidentally open the document, the embedded file will do some stuff, but you can actually get to see what it does. We'll get there in a sec. Another platform I like using for quick analysis is Doc2Guard or DocGuard. All you need to do is it gives you the file extensions that you can use to analyze. If you're looking for, if you want to analyze Excel related files, Word, PowerPoint, pub files, like the ones you keep downloading from Telegram, I mean, and the EPUBs as well, I guess. PDFs, LNK, all those good things. So this we're just gonna select the file and kind of see if it has been analyzed in the past. In this case, it tells us, this file has already been analyzed. You can analyze it again if you wish, cool. Or you can just go direct to the report. Because it kind of takes time kidogo. You can just go to the direct analysis and see what we get from this. So it's being flagged as malicious. Okay. It's a blacklist API. Create spawn instance. Okay, scripts can be embedded inside Office documents. Blah blah. Suspicious embedded objects. We got this as well. Okay. So from the looking at the MITRE mapping, you can see the technique used in this document is scripting. Then can you get any information from this? Nothing really. You can go to, yeah, we already seen my ties map. Scripting, IOCs, none was detected, but we had an embedded image, which if you also wanted, I guess we can download. I think in this case, it's not possible. Yeah. So yeah, this is also another good site you can use for quick analysis. If you maybe know of another one, you can paste it on chat. It'll help me as well at some point. So added the link on chat.
There's one called hybrid analysis.
Hybrid, oh yeah, hybrid analysis. But that takes quite some time, but you can check it out maybe. Wait a minute, because we got the MD5 that we were asked in the question. I think the next step was to identify. Can we actually get to see if this hash can be found in the VT database? Sorry. Search. Let's hit enter. Yeah, maybe just let me look at the question. See what it was asking. Let's see, determine distance. Do I need to stop? Yeah, so we've already seen when the document was last modified. We've already seen the MD5 of the embedded file. Now when we're about to uncover the CV which is embedded with the file, let me just go back to my Kali. Right off the bat, you can see that the 3 vendors have flagged it out of 61, sorry. Last analyzed date was 15 days ago. Looking at the common tags, this hash is associated with, you can see, is a CVE there. Sorry, the CVE there, which we're going to look into. Yeah. Let's see what most people are flagging it as. So seeing Fortinet is flagging it as something. Same with Icarus, same with F-Secure, same with Dr. Web, same with Avira. So that might actually be the flag. Symantec, and many others. If we go ahead and look at the, okay, I don't know if it just froze. If we look at the details tab, let's see if we have interesting stuff from there. Not quite. Behavior maybe. Yeah. So kind of looking through this information, you can see there was some URL that was actually found in the memory pattern during some network communications or stuff like that. So the next flag that was asking you to use crowdsourced intelligence, I think VirusTotal could have given you pretty much everything. Let me see if there's something we've left out. Is it Hunter? No, it is not. Yeah. So the CV, let's just confirm what it's about. There's a blog from Kaspersky. Rapid 7 has a blog on the same. Fortinet has a blog on the same. SOC Prime has a blog on the same. These are quite some good resources around the same. I don't know if you're interested, you can send, or you can just Google for yourself. Perhaps I can just share the whole link. A bit easier. Yeah, that was a Maldoc challenge. I think for deeper dive into Maldoc analysis, you can read the blogs like I mentioned earlier. Is there anything else? Let me see. I think I welcome any questions at this point. That was pretty much it from my end. Thank you.
Maybe just a question. Could you tell us why, what motivated you to be interested in forensics and not any other category?
Sorry, I haven't quite got your question.
So basically, I'm asking. You said forensics is your favorite method. So why forensics and not something else?
Okay, I don't know if someone can get that clearly, or maybe you can type it on chat. Can you type it on chat? Why forensics is my favorite? My God, I don't know. It's pretty interesting investigative stuff. Investigating stuff. I do I have a reason really? I just love it. Simply put, I kind of find it funny and fun. Trying to dig into something. Yeah, like investigating, like investigators in movies and stuff like that. DCI. Pretty much it. Cool, cool. I know you're just trolling. Thanks for those online tools. Cool, cool. Do you use all the tools? Yes, I have done a deep dive into all. You can check the 2 blogs I've shared. Actually, the whole all suite. Ole ID, Ole OBJ, Ole VBA, all those tools. I think I've done plus more tools that you can actually get to use. I think someone asked what the file does. I don't know if I can be able to detonate the file. Let's see. I don't know if we still have that that file. Actually, you guys you should try this platform. If you are into malware and playing around with malware, please create a free account on the platform. Have fun. It's really interesting. Yeah. Let's see if it will be detected by anyone or something. This opportunity to be flagged. Can I get it to my local system? Let's see. What? It's not coming. Local test. Add it there. Well, everyone seems to be misbehaving. Do I have an instance of let's see. Are there any other questions before this loads? I'm not checking the chat. Let me see. Any question? Wait, it's taking so much time. Come on. Well, probably we can try see if there's a. Let's see. Oh, sorry, I forgot to show you this. Rather than going the the automated route, you can actually also use other tools like Binwalk to kind of extract that specific file. So binwalk is let me see. Cool. Binwalk is another what should I categorize it as? It is it's like a you can use it like a file extractor. It has a couple of options. Let me see. It actually has a lot of options. It's like a file cover or something of the sort, if I can term it that way. So, all I gotta do is something as simple as binwalk and then the file, which is maldoc. I'll just give the any runtime to finish loading. And binwalk kind of gives you what is packed inside that document. And like earlier on, we saw there was a specific directory called, or maybe there was some specific file which was embedded with a funny name. We can attempt to extract the document by simply running binwalk tag e, which is for extract, then maldoc xlsx. If we confirm it unpacked it, yes, into a folder with an underscore, and instead of just manually going through the whole tree, we can navigate directly into Excel. In this case, worksheets underscore no, sorry, embeddings, Excel embeddings, and just do an ls and an md5 sum of the file, still get the same. So that would have been another way to go about it. Now, can we just see what kind of file it is though? It says it's a composite document file, so maybe as an assignment, or maybe I can actually create this as a chapter 2 of the first maldoc challenge. You get to kind of unravel the script that is embedded in it. Do you know how to obfuscate? Do you know how to go about such kind of deep dive investigations? You can probably set it up and then you can have like a part 2 where I get to go into the same. I don't know if my sandbox environment is up and running. Cool. New task. Let's pick file. Allow me to do this in a different tab. Test the maldoc. Unfortunately, I'm using a free version of this platform, so I can't use some updated or maybe latest operating systems like Windows 10, Windows 8, Windows 11. Just gonna have to go with the default Windows 7. And yeah, let's see what do I want to do. Nothing else really, so just run task. I hope it gives us something. Don't know. Let's see. Give it time to reboot. Can actually get to also interact with the same. Doesn't seem to have much going on. See some connection. Nothing really to the external. I don't think we're gonna get anything of the same. But from the question we had some file. I don't know if it's still live. Let me check. We had that URL that was associated with this file. In that case, it was this. Let me just fetch it, and you can see if we can fetch and run the executable. It's actually a VBS script. Let me stop this for the sake of time. New task. Task. Yeah, let me define it. So we can paste the URL there. What do you want to do? We want to actually download and start it. So let's see. Yeah, all data will be public, no problem. It actually is live. Oh yeah, cool. Still live. can see that if you've accidentally executed that file, there's some stuff being picked up. Just give it time to run for some time. You can kind of also write down some notes. This is the original URL. So let's see if we can pick some other IOCs from like a SOC point of view, I guess. Can you add more time and see what happens? Yes, please. Oh, yeah, cool. So if you can look at the connection tab, once the file was executed, it's trying to reach to some IPs and the PowerShell process. Pretty interesting stuff. Look at the IOCs later. Can you check if there's some files that have been downloaded? Oh yes. PowerShell seems to be. Wait, what? Yes, okay, we downloaded the file. Some compressed stuff. Okay. See, is it still running? Yes, add more time. Let's check the DNS requests being made. Okay, we have some 3 domains. Looking at the threads from the MITRE mapping, or maybe some alerts as well. You can see some. Maybe we can zoom in past this point, really. Oh yeah, it's not visible. You can see some potentially bad traffic to some. Okay. You can see some alerts indicating that there's some suspicious command and control activity associated with the nanocore rat command and control. So if I wanted to go an extra mile and ask you what rat was part of or maybe associated with the embedded file, this would have been an answer based on the research on crowdsourced intelligence, of course. I believe there are some sites that give more information about the IP that you just visited. I'll probably check it out. Other alerts, more like malware CNC traffic. Okay. Maybe just end. I think there's nothing much you're expecting at this point. Cool. So this point our analysis is done. If you wanted to download the sample of this VBS file that has been downloaded from this specific IP, you can simply download it from there and do more analysis if you want. Alternatively, you could just visit the URL or maybe use Nakal widget to download it to your file, to your lab, and then you discontinue internet. Do you have some IOCs? Yes, of course. The first URL that we visited, the file. If I went ahead and maybe asked you the MD5 of the file associated with the URL found earlier, simply put, you can just do an MD5 scan, MD5 sum of the file, or use such platforms to get the same. Unique connections, we have a couple of IPs, 3 of them. DNS request to some hondaza.dns. I don't know if it's legit. You can do further investigations if you want. There's some stuff, some HTTPS requests being made here and there. Yes, let's see. Let's see. Are we able to extract the malware configuration from the file which is run? Yes. I don't really want to go into the malware configurations right now. It's kind of topic for a different day. But yeah, you might have some challenges that ask you more about the malware configuration. If you're given a binary, it doesn't have to be like a URL. Someone can just give you a file and tell you it's malicious. Okay, can you just try and do your investigations and help us identify the malware configuration? So another sweet spot. If you want a text report, and a hybrid analysis gives you a good report that you can print. Well, If you also want to kind of map the graphs or maybe the process tree from the initial start, like from start, this is what happened, and then this happened, then you can see some should I call them what? Some information from MITRE. Okay, danger. There's some PowerShell that's bypassing the execution policy. There's probably some obfuscated PowerShell. Okay. Then process bypasses the loading of PowerShell. This and this and that, and so much more. So another good way to kind of understand what is going through, if you just hover over it, you can get to see the script, which is something you can also get to do when you visit the individual process. You can see the kind of clear text command that was executed. So I know you've done a lot of routine challenges for those who do the same. You've come across challenges which asks you some stuff related to the command line, maybe the command that was run and stuff like that. When you inspect the process, you get to see other stuff. PowerShell runs in an invisible window. Of course, we didn't see any PowerShell on our screen, so stuff to be to look out for. Attack gives you a good mapping of literally everything that has been picked up. Hope it loads quick. Time. Okay, I think that will take some time. I don't know. Okay, this is a report I was talking about. I think in order to download the report, they kind of tell you have to have like a subscription or something of the sort. So maybe a neater way will be to just print it and have like a PDF version of the same. God. What's happening to this lab? Okay, that's it. Let's copy that. Yeah. So they also added a new feature. Oh, sorry. I think I'll just wait for this to finish loading currently. So they added a new feature whereby if you want like a good neat report that kind of explains everything based on the files being downloaded, network connections, DNS requests being made, they added a ChatGPT feature which simply I need to log in, which simply does a quick report for the same. Just want to copy and paste. Cool. If you want to export the process graph that I just showed you earlier, it's very easy. All you need to do is just click there and you're good to go. But if you're someone who likes to explore and learn new stuff, Anyrun gives you an option to download a pickup file that you can analyze with Wireshark and the likes. For example, come on, I think this finished, but this is a MITRE mapping I was talking about. If you want to expand this further and see pretty much everything, just click on the expand all tactics. Under command and scripting, you see we have some PowerShell shenanigans and an non-standard ports. We're able to see, okay, which one was it. Can also get to see some stuff that was queried from the registry. This is, I think, environmental variables, product name, machine GID, likes. Yeah, that's on the MITRE mapping. The other thing, I hope this will work. So I'm logged in. It's downloading the pickup file. Oh shit. Let me send it to the same place and then I can just open it up in Wireshark. Yeah. Give me a sec. Just a minute. Until this point, do we have any question? guys floating? Are you there? Do you have a question? Am I disconnected?
Following.
I'm saying okay, unzip also works. Yes. If I run it in a VM, am I safe? Well, depends on the precautions you've really taken. Because if you detonate it currently in my, let's say for example, I'm using a Windows machine to analyze like Flare. So I do have a Flare instance. Let me see. I do have a Flare instance. And whenever I want to analyze malware, I just have to first of all take a snapshot of the whole lab. And then I also have to disconnect internet connectivity to the sandbox environment because some malware tends to escape the sandbox environments, especially, I don't know if I still have that blocked. There was a time whereby malware used to escape VirtualBox, gets into your host machine, simply exploiting a vulnerability in a VirtualBox. So ensure that there are some safety guidelines that you should kind of follow when setting up such kind of serious labs. One of them is to keep your hypervisor updated, disconnect network connectivity. What else? If you want to analyze or maybe simulate the network traffic, there's some tools that you can use in such kind of labs like iNetSim and the likes. Probably we should do a malware analysis session sometime, maybe above this session. Still waiting for the pickup to download. So yeah, Flare is a good VM to. It's a basically a Windows malware sandbox environment. It takes some time to set up, but it's totally worth it. It's got quite a number of tools. Remnux is easily available. You can simply just get it from the official website. I think you can use it in VirtualBox only. I'm guessing. I'm not sure. Let me just not fix myself. So yeah. And if you kind of watch what John Hammond does from time to time, you'll basically see him using that specific lab for malware analysis. Remnux is pretty awesome with some good tools. Yeah. I think the pickup is going to take a lot of time to download, but I can, if you want to play around with this environment, I can share a direct link, get to see what happens, get to see what happened with the processes. I don't know. You can further your research from this. I guess that's pretty much where I'm going to end at. Yeah. And yeah, John Munene shared a link to a TCM course called PMAT. PMAT is kind of how I also got my foot into malware analysis and such shenanigans. Good stuff. I'd recommend that course any day. So that's it. I think that's it.
Yep, that's perfect. Am I audible?
Yeah, I can hear you. Seems like you're traveling.
Yeah.